Good morning, everyone. I'm Kishan Shinde, pursuing my engineering 6th sem, third year in Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, Bengaluru, in the domain computer science engineering with artificial intelligence. This is my introduction. So let's jump into the today's topic. Today's topic is enumeration. Enumeration can be defined as a list of named constants just as similar to final variables. Final variables are the variables which cannot be altered once they have been declared. Just as final variables, enumeration is also a list of named constants. So enumeration can be written as enum, that is enum in Java, is a data type and that contains fixed sets of constants. For example, you can see here enumeration enumeration and the name of an enumeration is given as apple. Within that, we have given a list of variables that is Jonathan, Golden Dell, Red Dell, Winesap, and Cortland. These are the list of final variables which is stored in an enumerable variable called apple. The identifiers as Jonathan, Goldendale, and so on are called enumerable constants. Each is implicitly declared as public static final member of Apple. That is, it can be a public and static or final members of Apple. Enumeration variable is can be created like other primitive variables. It does not use the new for creating an object. Whenever you create an object, you have to use new variable to create an object. Whereas while you are using enumeration, we mention the class name of an enumer, that is apple, and we give it a variable to that, that is AP in this case. AP is a type of an apple, that is the variable created for an apple which can be used to define any of the functions. For here, for an example, we have given AP the value of apple, that is Reddel. The Reddel is a variable which is inside an apple. So for an variable, we have assigned a value Reddel through apple, that is apple dot Reddel. For example, we can see this code here. Enumerable apple, Jonathan, Goldendale, all these are variables have been mentioned in the enum. Next, we'll introduce a new class called enum demo, and we write the main function given as public static void main along with string arguments. And now we initialize an variable here, apple, apple, and given AP as a variable to that. AP is equals to apple dot reddel. At this point, AP is being stored. The value of AP is stored as reddel, which is derived from an apple. So whenever we print AP, we get an output as reddel because we have stored reddel in the place of AP via apple. So the next step we see AP is being stored as golden del. So if we run an if statement saying that AP is equal to apple dot golden del system dot in should be printed, then we see that AP is being stored as golden del. So just as other programming languages, a same variable being could be changed values by giving multiple values to it. They have used a switch function where case Jonathan, and we'll print an statement called Jonathan is red. If case golden del, then we'll say golden delicious is yellow. So at this current state, AP is being stored as golden del. So the switch function it goes for case golden del, and it prints golden is delicious is yellow. Just as for red del and winesap and cordland, we all these functions have been given. This isn't just an example program how we could use enum function here. So there are two methods in this. One is called values and another is called values of. All enumerables are perfectly defined into two methods, that is values and values of. So the general form of declaring these methods is public static enum type values. Type could be anything. So just for values of, we declare it as enum public static enum type values of string str. Let's come to the string str later. But first we see the definitions of these two. Values method returns an array that contains a list of enumerable constants. If we use values method, we get an array of a list of enumerable constants. That is, what all the variables that are being given would be given as an output for the method values. Values of method returns the enumerable constant whose value corresponds to the string passed in the str. Whatever the string we have been passed in str, that corresponding values would be given as an output for the values of method. So let's see an example here. Enum season. We'll give it as winter, spring, summer, fall, and we'll give a class as enum example one. Public static void main as a void main function. Now we'll imply a for loop here. For s colon season dot values. That is, we are declaring an for variable as s starting with an index 0 for a season enum class as seasons. We'll check up to enum dot values. Values derives the list of variables. So whenever we print s, we get a list of variables. So we check if we check in condition here, seasons s is equals to seasons dot values of winter. If we have values of winter, we get value of that. The system dot out dot println is being given as s contains. So we'll check out another example here. Enum day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All of the variables given here. We implies main function, and we check day day as in class name, and day d small d as in variable to it. And we mention day dot Monday, then day dot Monday stores and Monday as a variable here. Switch day. Whenever the variable stores a Monday here, this one this day variable is being used inside a switch. In case the switched value variable is Sunday, then this Sunday would be printed. If it is Monday, it would print Monday. As we have Monday here, it prints Monday. This is an example for an enumerable class using values and values of. Class type enumerable contains three things. First is an instance variable price, and which is used to hold the price of each varieties of apple. Second is apple constructor, which is passed in the price of an apple. Third is method get price, which returns the value of price. Whenever a value AP is declared in the main function, the constructor for an apple is called for each of a constant that is being specified. The arguments to the constructor are specified by putting them inside parentheses after each of these constants. Just as we seen in an example, those all are being mentioned here. Enum superclass. All enum automatically inherits one java.lang.enum. Enum class defines several methods that are available for use by all enumerations. There are few more methods called as ordinal, compare to, and equals. Ordinal, to obtain a value that indicates an enumerable constant's position in a list of constants, then this is called ordinal value. Whenever we want an current position of a constant in the inside a list, ordinal is being used. For that, we have to write a code as final int ordinal, which returns an integer that is position of a constant inside a list. So next is compare to. Compare to is an ordinal value of two constants of same enumeration by using compare to method. General form is being given as final int compare to enum type e. We'll see what this is later. Equals method is overwritten method from object class and it is used to compare the enumerable constant, which returns true if both the constants are same. If the constant is being compared using equals, then it returns true. If it is not equals, then it is false. Let's see an example for all these three. We have mentioned an enum in the name of an apple with all the strings inside it. We have mentioned a class called enum demo 4 and we have mentioned a public main. So now we will initialize three variables here for an enum class called apple, that is ap, ap2 and ap3. This has been initialized here. So first the system.out.println will print that here all apples are constant and their ordinal values. Okay, this would be printed here. For for variable we use a here, and for apple the apple dot values is being the maximum strength. System.out.println, we use an ordinal function which gives an exact position of an constant string. So AP is being stored as red del and AP2 is being stored as golden del and AP3 is being stored as red del again. So if we print AP compared to AP2, that is AP which is being stored as red del and AP2 compared stored as golden del, that is which is lesser than 0, then print as AP comes before AP2. Here what happens is when does AP comes in the later after golden del. Golden del appears before red del. So here this if function would be false, as this both doesn't doesn't comes as lesser than 0. If AP dot compares to given to AP2 is greater than 0, this conditions comes as true because golden del is being initialized first and red del is initialized later. So as these both are initialized later, becomes true for greater than 0 and prints AP2 comes before red del. This is how, and we use AP2 the same functions for equals to. If both the functions are equal, then it system implies as equals here. This is a program just to show you that the equals, compares to, and ordinal are being used in this function. Thank you for today. This much is a video.